Hello, everybody. This is Drinda and my sister.
And she decided she was going to put it in more defining terms for people, insinuating that talking about Charlie Ward. Yeah, look at Charlie Ward and his face and his reaction. Not only that, he's nodding. Yes, yes. I'm giving you a warning about it. You know, you have to really hit hard. And that's what I hope that you can use this to wake your friends up, because it sure did. It just broke my heart.
These little kids are passed out, yeah? These little kids. ¿Usted con quién viene, caballero?
Solo.
¿Usted solo con ¿eh? ¿Y la mamá?
La mamá me abandonó.
¿La mamá qué?
Me abandonó.
Christy, come here.
And if Washington doesn't have enough to talk about these days, the Washington Times reported today that unidentified White House aides in the Carter, Reagan, and Bush administrations now are being investigated for using the services of a call boy ring. The paper reports that 2 of the male prostitutes were given a late-night tour of the White House last year.
Potentially hundreds of military.
Покажите мне полочки, ну.
We take the children of our enemy, which is the white race, and we bring them to the basements in the synagogues where we drain the blood and watch them die there. It's very similar to how we do the sacrifices that we do with the kosher butchering, and so we do that, and then we mix it with the Passover bread, and so we eat the blood of our enemies. And the bodies, we're not cannibals, so what we do is we take those, because we can make some shekels, and we give them to the slaughterhouses, and those are pounds and pounds and pounds of meat that we grind up in the sausage and the hamburger, and that's why we made those the most popular things, sausage for breakfast and hamburger for lunch. And so all the goyim out here are really eating their children. And even when we say this outright and tell you people, you don't believe it. So that's...
How is it possible that in America, which is 4% of the world population, we have 15% of the world deaths? I think Dr. Fauci is basically the J. Edgar Hoover of public health. He's a petty tyrant. He got COVID wrong. He continues to get it wrong. I keep hearing from people inside the public health space and outside, regular doctors like me, that he's not managing this correctly. So let's get to the root cause of why this is occurring. And I want to specifically go over the issues that they've been so confident about that they've gotten diametrically wrong.
He has talked about vaccinations before, saying, I don't get into that, my wife handles that. It makes me wonder if he's winning some family, or losing some family arguments at home, and is a little pissed off about it because he followed Fauci's lead. I know some of us are thinking, of all the people to debate Anthony Fauci, how about not one of his #1 fans that's been promoting him throughout this, COVID epidemic? Why don't we have Dr. Peter McCullough or Dr. Robert Malone get in there to debate him?
And every time they appear in public now, they're saying the exact opposite thing that they were saying literally 2 weeks ago and throughout the entire pandemic response. So watching them basically sound like us now, it's really something to see.
How is this man still in charge? What an absolute failure. What a disgrace of science. What a disgrace as a human being. There's nothing this man that has said has ever come true. He has been dead wrong and changing his perspective every single week for this pandemic. He's destroyed our lives. He promised us a vaccine, told us we could reach herd immunity, told us he would take 2 shots. Now, I always meant 3 shots, told us we didn't need a mask, shouldn't wear a mask. Now I got to give you a mask. I mean, it is so insane. If you ever, one day we'll all have to, the history books, I hope, once we write the true history of what happened here, we'll just have an entire chapter of watching this, series of lies that misled the world and ask ourselves how the greatest nation in the world kept following one of the biggest morons of all freaking times.
More Americans have died from COVID in 2021 than died in 2020 before there was a shot. There were 362,000 deaths from COVID last year. So far this year, there have been 414,000 deaths. So you've got to wonder how long the population is going to put up with this. Unelected lunatics haranguing the rest of us as they fail at their core job.
meat. A shocking discovery has been made in an Oklahoma City McDonald's meat factory and other McDonald's meat factories nationwide. Meat inspectors reportedly found what appeared to be human meat stored in the meat factory freezers of an Oklahoma City meat factory and human meat already in trucks right outside the factory ready to be shipped to McDonald's restaurants. Health inspectors immediately demanded inspection in various McDonald's meat factories across the country and horrifyingly found human meat in about 90% of the factories inspected thus far. The USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, has seized McDonald's production and shipping and will call for more meat factory inspections and restaurant inspections. The FBI is also investigating the factories. FBI agent Lloyd Harrison told Hustler reporters, "The worst part is that it's not only human meat, it's child meat." The body parts that were found across the U.S. factories were deemed too small to be adult body parts. This is truly horrible. The situation brings up many unanswered questions. How long have they been using human meat? Where did they get the children from? Were they already dead when brought into factories? Investigators and inspectors are currently being deployed for intensive investigations all around the U.S. Here is another clip when earlier McDonald's was caught.
This is the production base of Hu Seafood Company in Shanghai, a member of the American SOI Group and supplier of meat products to major American fast food restaurants throughout China, including KFC, McDonald's, and Pizza Hut. Here are your chicken McNuggets and beef patties using either a Big Mac or layered beef burger from KFC. But an undercover reporter's discovery may cause the food giants to lose more than a few customers in China.
Beef is long past its due date. I never worked at a food processing plant before, so I didn't know better. But now if I went to a KFC or McDonald's restaurant,
here the footage shows workers apparently dumping already made but unused beef patties back onto the production belt along with raw beef. And here, defective chicken nuggets are picked out, but only to be collected and put back onto the production line along with raw chicken. The reporter allegedly obtained proof showing that the violations are systemic rather than just limited to a few employees. Here's what appears to be a company email that was sent this past June asking production workers to use beef that expired in November last year.
The company keeps two different books. One is done on the scene according to what happened. The other is done by special personnel for review or examination.
According to the whistleblower, Hu Seafood has been cooking the books so the company could cook whatever it wanted, whenever it wanted. And that's why the violations weren't uncovered until now, despite inspection tours by the companies it supplied to. In the wake of the revelations, the Shanghai Municipal Food and Drug Administration closed operations at Hu Seafood Company and seized meat products suspected of being past their expiration date. Authorities also ordered all meat products at McDonald's and KFC outlets that were supplied by the firm to be taken off the shelf. On Monday, McDonald's Corp and KFC owner Yum Brands released an apology to Chinese consumers and said they will stop using the meat supplier.
Thank you for teaching students that our own mental health is much less important than making triple vaccinated adults feel safe. Thank you for teaching me that even the most minute risk is not worth taking. Life is best when you take the path of least resistance, with no chance of failure and definitely no chance of catching a cold. Thank you for not reaching out to the students to ask how we feel about masks, because if you did, the majority of students would say that they hate masks, and then you might second guess your decision to make us wear them. Thank you for allowing me to experience the anxiety associated with never seeing facial expressions. Thank you for teaching us that we should never question authority or think critically, but instead we should follow whatever the people in charge tell us to do. Obedience is best. I realize now that thinking for yourself is overrated and not really necessary when you can just make decisions based on fear. Thank you for pushing your irrational fears and anxieties on me, because I didn't already have enough to worry about. I realize now how easy I had it when I only had to worry about my classes, my grades, SAT, and getting into college. Thank you for teaching me that being a morally superior person only requires that I cover my face for 8 hours a day, and that the most morally superior people wear 2 masks or even 3 masks. As you know, states around us, Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan, and Minnesota, which have 2.5 times more students than Illinois, don't force kids to masks. I'm with you, though. These states are out of control, recklessly putting kids at risk of misery and death every day. Masks work, even if these states have the same outcomes as Illinois. Speaking of data, thank you for staying silent about masking, despite the fact that COVID has a very high survival rate in kids my age. Who needs data anyway, though? We all know that it will never be safe to see anyone's face ever again.
Okay, please listen very carefully here now.
New South Wales alone had 36 more fatalities, its highest ever one-day toll.
Okay, so 36.
As well as 29,000 new cases. Chief Health Officer Dr. Kerry Chant says 33 of those fatalities had been vaccinated.
Hang on, say that again. 33 of the 36 deaths were double vaxxed. 33 of the 36 were double vaxxed. Is that around the 90 to 92% or something? Of the people that died were double vaxxed? Does that tell you that the vax is not working? And this is what she carries on saying.
But most hadn't received their booster doses.
They hadn't received their booster doses. Okay. So because they didn't get their boosters, they died. Okay, well that makes a lot of sense for the vaccine, to get double vax so that you can die. 90-something% chance of dying in New South Wales if you've been double vaxxed but you didn't get the booster. So this is their little way to encourage people to get the booster now, because it's time for the next sales targets to be reached for 2022. And but 90% of double vax guys, you are going to die if you get COVID, because your natural immunity has been stuffed. There it is, 33 out of 36 of the deaths in New South Wales, double vaxxed.
You are traumatizing a little child.
This is fucking disgusting. No.
Look at the child.
I know a captain that works in the fucking Central Park.
Look at the child. Look at the child. This is what we're doing to children.
Where are you taking her? Where are they taking her? Like, this is fucking fucked up.
Child abuse. What kind of future do we want for our children? What kind of future do we want for our children? Just because she refused to show her papers.
Jailer! 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 Woo! You want to say anything? No. Yes! You're a soldier!
That's it, little warrior.
That was good.
Yeah. You okay, honey?
Yeah.
You're so strong. Who's the...
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that will not.
Friends of the family and strangers, and my family used to rape me, make me abort the babies I had.
It would be hard to imagine more misery and suffering than what Teresa says she's had to endure.
Then us kids would be made to do things with the adults and the animals, and then a sacrifice would happen.
The sacrifice, were these animal sacrifices?
Animals and people.
Like the old people's homes now, I mean, there's a...
For the first time, Teresa is learning what it's like to live with love instead of fear.
Pretty though.
In this quiet English village, with the help of her mother, she's slowly repairing her broken life. Teresa is now 15, but at the age of 2, she was left in the care of this woman, the grandma she called Nan. And that, she says, is when her torment started.
Who was the leader? Who was the boss of the gang, of the cult?
At home it was my Nan.
Your Nan made you have sex with animals?
Yeah. Like goats and donkeys.
The story of Teresa is a story almost too horrible to recount. A case of child abuse that goes well beyond the kind of things we normally associate with the abuse of children. In 27 years of reporting, it has to be one of the most painful stories I have ever had to tell.
How many men or how many people would have sex with you?
What, at one time?
Yes.
About everyone who was there, which must have been about 20. You know, from 10 to 20 people. If it was a big ceremony, it used to be 30.
What would your grandma be doing when these men were forcing themselves on you?
Usually laughing. Or smiling. Or having sex with another man. Or other men.
A chronicle of debauchery and depravity so horrific it's hard to believe. You have to ask yourself, could Teresa be just making it up?
This couldn't be a terrible dream, a nightmare that you're reliving?
No. It's no dream. It's a nightmare, but it's not one you can wake up from. It's there all the time.
This really happened, you're quite sure of that?
Yeah.
The police don't think Teresa made up a story. Some of the cult members are to stand trial. 5 men have been charged with rape. As for Nan, the grandmother, she's 61 and lives in this council flat in South London. She's charged on 7 counts of aiding and abetting rape and 2 counts of performing abortions on Teresa. If you're finding this hard to believe, so did I at first. But then there are the medical reports, evidence of sustained sexual abuse. And there's this, a statement prepared for 60 Minutes by Teresa's psychiatrist. It says, in my opinion, Teresa's account is not the product of a psychotic illness, nor the figment of a fertile imagination. I believe her to be telling the truth.
I know what's true and what's not.
We also took Teresa's story to this man, therapist Ray Wire. He reads a transcript of our interview and listens to her voice.
It's no dream.
Few people, if any, in Britain have counselled as many victims of satanic abuse or Satanists themselves as Ray Wire has. If there is an expert on satanic cults, it would have to be him.
Do you believe Teresa's story?
I believe Teresa's story. It's exactly the same story as I've heard from men who says they've done it.
You've dealt with other cases like hers?
Yes.
21 cases like hers, he says, in the past 2 years alone.
Themes like they were put in boxes with spiders and worms, where they were trapped in fear, where there was a high use of excrement and urine, where there was talk of human sacrifice.
Take just one of those rituals, putting children in boxes with spiders and worms. Now, listen to what Teresa told her mother.
And they had a coffin-like box that children were put in with spiders and snakes and the lid shut and left in there. I would have come out deranged. I could not have coped with that mentally at all.
You have evidence to back up stories like Teresa's, that this is really happening?
Well, we have that age of child, 6, 5 and 4, giving information that ties up with Teresa. How do those children know? How do those children able to describe rituals, to talk about ceremonies, to talk about sacrificing animals? How do those children know?
Nightmares, imagining it?
You can't imagine those things at 3 and 4 years old, and you also don't have the evidence of anal sex abuse and oral sex abuse and all that other abuse that clearly those children have experienced and endured.
During these ceremonies, was Satan, the devil, ever referred to?
He was called Lucifer.
What did they say about the devil, about Lucifer?
That killing the people made him happy.
Sacrifices to please the devil. According to Teresa, the worst rituals took place at a house somewhere in the country.
It was big, you know, expensive. From the front it looked like a castle. You know, it had a long drive and big double wooden doors.
Do you think they were rich people then?
Very rich.
Now, where was this big house somewhere in the country? Teresa says she can't take the police there because the Satanists made sure she'd never know how to find it.
Teresa was always drugged, or on a couple of occasions she says she was knocked out, so that she never fully knew the route.
There was a tramp who was brought in once, you know, and he was killed. He was cut from his throat down to his stomach, and that they ate him, or bits of him.
They killed a man at a ceremony?
Yeah.
In front of you?
Yeah, in front of all of us.
Did the tramp, did this man fight back?
No, I think he was, you know, drunk or something. He seemed really dopey. He was laughing a lot when he was brought in. And he started screaming when they began to cut. But after a while, you know, he died. I'd seen a few killings before then. Although I wasn't used to it, you know, that was the worst one. I really don't know what I thought. I suppose I thought, thank God it's not me.
Let me get this right now. Are you saying that you saw more than one person killed in that house?
Yeah. I've seen loads of babies killed there, just newborn babies, or aborted ones which were only small. You know, 4-year-olds.
Did they ever say they might kill you?
They threatened to kill my little girl, who, when I left, was still at the house.
A friend?
Huh?
What little girl?
My little girl, Alex. She's about 4 now.
You mean you had a child?
Yeah.
How old were you when you had that child?
11.
Motherhood at the age of 11. But from what Teresa told her mother, it wasn't the only pregnancy.
We think about 7 or 8 times. It's hard to say. It was constantly happening from the time she was capable of being pregnant.
What happened to the pregnancies, to the babies?
They were aborted by my nan or by one of the doctors at the house.
There were doctors there at that house?
Yeah, there was 2, I think. Yeah, and a nurse.
What would happen to the fetuses, the unborn babies?
They used to be taken away most of the time, and one time the baby was taken out of me and then killed in front of me because it was still alive.
And then, what would happen?
Well, after they killed it, they would eat it. But we were also made to eat it.
You were made to eat your own fetus?
Yeah.
Who made you do this?
My nan.
You'd think the one person in the world you could leave a little girl with would be Grandma. Someone to give her love and protect her from harm. Yet, when Teresa was left to live with her grandmother, they might as well have handed her to the devil himself. But why was Teresa living with Nan in the first place and not with her mother?
When my first marriage broke up, I took the children with me and couldn't cope. So I gave them to their father, who in turn moved to his mother's. And
to Nan's place?
Yeah. And when he left the Nan's place, he left the children there.
Did you ever try to run away? You must have been frightened.
A couple of times I did, but my uncle, he caught me and brought me back.
Going to the police? Did that occur to you?
No. No. I thought it was normal, you know, even though I didn't like it.
As we said earlier, the police have already charged some members of the cult, and we know they're also investigating Teresa's accounts of those ritual killings. If there were as many, she told us, then the Satanists had a problem. How did they get rid of the bodies?
They had a tub, you know, pretty big, I don't know. A very big tub, and they used to put the bodies and bones in there. And it used to go like, you know, fizzy and that. And then there was nothing left. Or there didn't seem to be, but when they cleared it out, there used to be a sludge at the bottom.
Teresa's story, her account, doesn't really surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me in the light of satanic abuse, no.
Do you get frustrated with people who just won't accept that these things do happen?
Yes, because I've worked with murderers in prisons for years. Not that long ago, a boy was found in a forest in southern England without a head. We have no doubts that men can do that. And yet when we start talking about men within Satanism who actually believe in evil and it's the right to express evil, we suddenly have a doubt.
As I was leaving Teresa's place, she handed me this note. It's addressed to the film crew. She says, "Thanks for bothering to help kids like me. I hope it helps." On the other side, there's a poem Teresa made up while she was staying at Nan's place. She calls it Nothing Left.
Nothing left. I would scream, but there is no voice left. I would cry, but there are no tears left. I would fight, but there is no strength left.
That was just part of our investigation of Satanism in Britain. We're also gathering evidence about the activities of such cults
here in Australia,